Hey juniors, what's going on? So this is going to be the first in a series of demo videos going over a whole bunch of different moves and tricks that you guys are going to learn how to do. This video is going to talk all about the basics that you need to know when you first join junior team, or if you've been on for a while and just want a little bit of a refresher, this is the video for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into some basics. Okay, so the first thing that everyone learns when they first start karate is the 2 punches, jab, and cross. You guys all know that we do it in almost every single combination, self-defense, sometimes even katas, right? Well, in demo, the strikes, the chop, and the punch are kind of like the jab cross of demo. With a chop punch, we'll probably do it like 4 to 5 times in every single kata that we do. So it's really important to make sure that we know how to break it down and how to do it properly. So let's break down chops first. So I'm just going to start in the tension stance, and we'll worry about what our other hand is doing later. I'll cover that in the chambers section. So first things first. For a chop, we want to make sure that our fingers are nice and tight together and that our thumb is tucked under. So notice how my hand is solid right now. We don't want to have what's called floppy fish, because this doesn't look professional when we're doing a kata. So make sure our fingers are nice and tight and our thumb is tucked under. So now, before we start off with our actual chop, for every single move in demo, we have a set point. For all those moves, the set point is almost always in the center. So whether we're doing a rising block, we start from the center. We start with that down block from the center. Same thing with chops and punches. So I'm going to bring my hand up to the center. Notice how my thumb is still tucked under. I'm going to step back to the side, and we'll worry about footwork in another section. Chop, and reset. Notice how my arm was fully extended out and snapped back in. So what you don't want to do with the chop is to overextend it, because while that does have more power, it doesn't look as good. So you have to find that happy medium between not enough power, too much power, and then find that just right point. So I'll come a little closer to the camera so you guys can see. I'll bring my hand up and chop. And notice how my arm is straight out, almost like I'm getting ready to pull an arrow from a bow. Very cool. So take a couple seconds, practice those chops by yourself if you need to, making sure that your fingers are super tight and that your arm is fully extended. Now that you've mastered those chops, this is a really good point to mention that everything you do on one side, you should also be doing on the other side to make sure both sides of your body are getting that full 100% power. So now that you've mastered chops, let's move on to some punches. So punches are just like our jabs and crosses with regular class. I'm going to make sure that my arm is fully extended. We're not bending our hand, but also not overextending it either. We want to make sure that our wrist, our elbow, and our shoulder are all in line, and that our hand is nice and straight. Same thing like regular class. We want to make sure that we have a nice tight fist. Do 3 punches by yourself. Go ahead. Very cool. So now let's put those chops and punches together. One quick thing I would like to mention here though is whenever you're doing a combination in demo, it's very important to make sure that you're waiting until the move is fully extended and then go into your next move. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So instead of only extending your hand out a little bit for that chop and then going into that punch, you want to have each move fully complete. So I fully extend my arm, then I punch. We'll do that a little faster. Chop, punch. One more time. Ready? Chop, punch. And same thing. Notice how my hands are snapping into place. Very tight and strong. Watch those fingers and that thumb for that chop. Go ahead, practice it 3 times on your right side and 3 times on your left side. Don't be afraid of taking it a little slower if you need to. Your arm should shake a little bit, but that's absolutely normal as you snap it into place. Great job, team, and you have successfully mastered your first move combination for demo. Give yourselves 2 claps. Very cool. Let's move on to adding a little bit more to our state. Adding a little bit more to our combination.